Hey guys, Sivagan here. Welcome back to the channel. Yes, I am back, and I think the first video I'm going to do is a bit of a Premier League predictions reaction. I know I'm a bit late. I had some things, but it's alright. We're back in the mood. Upload season is back, and I think it's a good way to start. Let's go through my Premier League predictions, and I've put a little bit of a stakes on this one for any Premier League prediction. So if you remember how I did it in a tier list. Now, in terms of the tier list, if I get it wrong by more than one tier, so suppose a team I predicted was supposed to be out of the Euro, was supposed to be in 7th place, instead they become champions, then I have to do something. And that something is that I am going to be drinking a shot of vinegar. I know some of the predictions that I've made, and I am not anticipating it. I am going to make one exception though. If I predicted the champions to be in the Europa League, I don't think that counts because, to be honest, they're literally the exact same. Let me just say, a reference is that if I predicted a team that they were going to get relegated and instead they finish around 8th to 10th, that's when the vinegar is out for the season. Here we go. Let's get into the reaction to the predictions. So we're starting with the relegation zone. I predicted West Brom 28th, Fulham 19th, and Villa 18th. Now, obviously, I was wrong with the Villa prediction, but I wasn't wrong enough that I have to drink the vinegar. I was literally the last position. They came 11th due to bottling the last end of the season, so I don't have to drink vinegar. But overall, great season for Aston Villa, man. They had Ollie Watkins really performing at the start of the season. They obviously had that massive win against Liverpool. Jack Grealish doing Jack Grealish things and carrying the team towards the last quarter of the season despite getting injured. But other than that, West Brom and Fulham were the other two teams that got relegated alongside Sheffield United. Never would have expected Sheffield United to be that bad. Finished rock bottom. I predicted them 17th though, which was really close, but I never would have anticipated them to be last. I never expected that bad of second season syndrome. But overall, I'm fine with the predictions. I don't have to do anything so far. Overall, I'm okay with this. I'm completely fine with the predictions I've made here. Next up, I predicted from 11th to 17th, and I already know there's going to be a short in here, so let's just get it over with. West Ham, I predicted them 15th. I did not anticipate. Let's be real, right? Who would have thought West Ham would have made the Europa League? It's absolutely insane what David Moyes was able to accomplish. Jesse Lingard was amazing. Was an amazing signing. Everyone counted him out on the first day, and he managed to pull off honestly one of the best seasons he's had in the Premier League. Now, again, let's go through this backwards. Sheffield United 17th, I've already addressed that. My first absolutely on the dot prediction, I predicted Brighton to come 16th, and in real life they came 16th. But honestly, who cares? It's Brighton. They always manage to stay up, and I kind of knew that coming in. Leeds United, that was a surprise. I loved Leeds this season. I think honestly the only boring Leeds game I saw was the second game against Chelsea with no fans. However, the one in Stamford Bridge where they allowed fans in is honestly one of my favorite matches of the season. It was so entertaining. First, I have fans back in the stadium, but second, because the teams were just attacking each other, just going at each other. I love this Leeds team. Honestly, Patrick Bamford, brilliant season. You can't really even say that, hey, it was this person exactly who carried them. It was this person exactly. I think it was an overall effort. And Marcelo Bielsa, brilliant job. Crystal Palace, I predicted Crystal Palace to come 13th. In reality, it's just a bit of mix and matching in the table over here. Palace, Southampton, Newcastle, they are the constant mid-table at this point. you need to predict them over there. You're not ever going to predict them to come in the top half of the league, maybe once. But overall, again, I do not want to do that shot, but I'm gonna have to since West Ham just absolutely blew the competition away. Okay, let's go from 8 to 10. I predicted Everton to come 10th, and they did come 10th. You know, there was a part of the season where you were thinking this Everton team is going to make the Champions League. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, great season. Ancelotti at the helm, and it was working until it just didn't. Calvert-Lewin went on a 7-game gold route, the goals dried up, and overall they lost James. That was the big one. They lost James Rodriguez, and ever since then it wasn't really smooth for them. Next up we got Burnley in 9th. I don't know why. Why did I think Burnley were gonna come 9th? They came 17th. They stayed up with the barest of skin and the barest of margins. I don't have to do a shot for it, but it's still a shocking prediction. Leicester, Europa League. Great season for Leicester. Again, Brendan Rodgers, man, he's done a lot. What a brilliant rebuild challenge. I love that he finally has some silverware to show for his efforts at Leicester. He's done so much, even with the losses of very important people like the owners. It's all worked for him at Leicester, and he is spearheading a really, really dangerous looking Leicester team that they have to qualify for the Champions League at some point. They can't bottle going into the Champions League 3 years in a row, because that would just ruin the camp. But overall, again, great season for Leicester. Next up, we got the Europa League spots. Let's start with 7th. I predicted Chelsea would come 7th. I predicted my own club would come 7th place. And I don't know why. Again, I thought it was going to be a chemistry thing. I was very fearful of Werner coming into the season because of Chelsea's history with strikers. I think I may actually do a full Chelsea season review as my next video because it would be pretty interesting. But overall, I think I messed up with this one. Next up, we got Spurs. One position off. I was one position off from this being a correct prediction. But yeah, I predicted that Spurs would not work this season. I predicted it wasn't going to click. I knew Jose Mourinho is obviously Jose Mourinho. He's my favorite manager all time. I just did not believe in the Spurs team, to be honest. Next up, we got Wolves. This is the second shot of the video. And I just do not know what went wrong with Wolves, man. They have a very talented squad. In fact, a lot of the Portuguese team that's going to the Euros that looks like everyone's favorites is from this Wolves team, and it's just not worked for them. Don't know what went wrong. I mean, Nuno's not going to get sacked. They've practically built the club around his vision, but it's a shocking season for a team that usually does so well. And I thought this was going to be the season where they were finally going to make that jump and become, hey, you know, we've announced ourselves. I thought that this was going to be that season, but unfortunately, it just wasn't. Okay, next up I've got the Champions League spots. I'm not looking forward to this. Let's get it out of the way. I predicted Arsenal 4th. Predicted them to get into the Champions League. I thought this was going to be different. I really like the signing of Partey, man. That was a great signing. That was a great pickup for Arsenal. And then they just managed to finish 9th. Like, at this point, you got to say London's blue. You got to, because you can't consider yourself the biggest team in the entire of a city as big as London, as important in football as London, and then just finish 9th. That's not how things work. Then Manchester United, I was one off. Manchester City, I predicted them to come in the Champions League spots. Instead, they won the Premier League, and I messed up on that one. I thought Liverpool was going to win. I never would have anticipated the injuries, but I should have, considering what happened to Manchester City last season. But overall, again, pretty good seasons for both. Bruno Fernandes, brilliant season. I still don't agree with the choice of giving Kevin De Bruyne Player of the Year. However, it was Players Player of the Year, so it was the players voting on it. So we really don't know what mindset they're coming into it. But Harry Kane should have won it. It should have very easily gone to him. Ruben Diaz has proven himself. Harry Maguire has redeemed himself from the horrific sort of mistakes towards the end of last season. He's redeemed himself. Fair on him. And finally, we got the champions in Liverpool. Yeah, I never would have. I thought it was going to be Liverpool. Thought it was going to be the 2P. I thought this was going to be the start of the Klopp dynasty. But it just didn't pan out. They lost Virgil van Dijk very early on in the season to that Jordan Pickford altercation. They lost all of their centre backs for a majority of that time. They were forced to play their academy players, and sure, that works for some teams like Chelsea. But overall, it impacted their season really hard, particularly with that 7-2 loss to Aston Villa. But overall, those are my Prem predictions. I have 3 shots of vinegar to do. That is for Wolves, that's for West Ham, and that's for Arsenal to go into the Champions League. God help me. Okay, here we go. This is definitely vinegar. This is cup. I do not have any shot glasses. We just don't really do a lot of shots in this house. So I guess it's gonna be half a glass of vinegar. As you can see, there it is. Mazel tov, I guess. Where did I predict Arsenal to come to the Champions League? Oh, for God's sake. Oh, it's an instant regret. I instantly regret this. Why? God, why are Arsenal so shit? Keep telling myself it's gonna be better if I gulp it. It's just not, is it? It just really isn't. I got a little bit to go. The smell. The smell is the worst part. It's the worst part of all this, man. Jesus. I never would have thought this is how I'd be ending a video. But anyway, lads, oh God. Oh God. Almost done. Thank you guys for watching. Never predict Arsenal to come to the Champions League. Peace.